Hello everyone, this is Pat Rainville with Angel Divination Channel with our daily oracle card reading and message for Thursday, October the 4th of 2012. For today's reading, I felt guided to use the daily guidance from your Angels oracle card deck. This is a really great, simple, straightforward deck with the message right on the front of the card. So it's very easy to work with. And I love the color of it and this beautiful crowned angel on the front. So let's see what the daily guidance is from our angels. Okay, what do they wish us to know for this Thursday? Well, nothing's jumping out from the card deck. We don't have any jumping cards. So we will just fan them and pick one. What do we need to know for today, angels? What is your message for us? For the YouTube community. Okay. We got Daydream. Daydream about possibilities. And this card says, you will more easily hear and receive our messages if you daydream regularly. Relax and open your mind to receiving without directing your thoughts. Just notice any feelings, visions, or ideas as if you were watching a movie. This is the seat of creativity. So this is about, if you have those episodes today where you notice that your mind is just kind of wandering off into these different little daydreams. Happens to all of us. For many of us as kids, if we were caught doing that in school or something, they'd be like, hey, bring your focus back to what you're doing. But what the angels are actually encouraging us to do this today, or to allow it to happen. I know sometimes when we get off into these little daydreams, we can tend to be a little harsh on ourselves, thinking that we're not being productive, or we should be focusing on doing something. But what they're making us aware of is that these little daydreams actually have a lot of information for us. That's why it's saying, pay attention and notice what it is you're daydreaming about. Notice the feelings, the visions that come across, that you're daydreaming about, and the ideas that are kind of in behind there. It can really give you a lot of information. It can, tune you into the, the feelings and the kinds of things that you ideally want, or it can bring your awareness to, issues that you need to address within yourself or speak up about. So it's a really interesting card to get, and it's usually a confirmation a lot of times for me when it shows up. And they're sort of giving you permission to allow it too. Don't feel harshly about yourself because maybe you're not being more focused or more productive. Daydreaming actually is a very productive activity at certain times. And actually, one of my favorite authors, Mark Allen, who actually is he's a multi-millionaire. He's somebody who's known as the lazy millionaire, and he credits getting a lot of his ideas and inspiration from those times when he did nothing and just allowed himself to daydream. He attributed a critical aspect of his success to that. So it says, the angels sent you this card because they want you to be open and receptive to new ideas. And I was just saying to someone the other day, a lot of times when we ask our angels for a question, or maybe even when we're asking for their names or something like that, and I know I oftentimes, I'll ask them a question and then I'll wait silently trying to quiet my mind, and then it seems like nothing's coming. And then once I walk away and let go of it and do something else, that's when the answer shows up. Or when you're doing something mindless, like daydreaming, because that is when your mind is most open and receptive. And that's what they're trying to impart to you, being open and receptive to new ideas. Now, daydreaming is something you can engage in consciously, or sometimes, I know, we often find ourselves, and I know this happens for me a lot too, in sort of a lucid dream where it's it can be kind of like a dream that you're having when you're asleep, but you're not entirely asleep. A part of you is creating it. Not quite a daydream when you're fully awake and conscious, but it's somewhere in between. So, anyways, they're urging you to just follow the natural, follow the trail of where your thoughts are going. Follow your stream of consciousness. And, maybe write down some of the thoughts, feelings, and ideas that come to you. And, if it feels inspirational to you or something, ask your angels for guidance about what the next step is to take with it. So, this is, and when people get into this daydream activity, a lot of times they're having, it involves, they find themselves having conversations with people that they either want to have, things they wish they had said or wanted to say or hope they can say. And, that's all part of it too. The daydreaming of it is really, it's almost kind of like a mental practice where we practice what we want to say, or we give ourselves permission to say it to someone in that little daydream. And that's okay too. It's a way of sort of preparing yourself. And sometimes I know even when we have in our life experience, loved ones who are ill, if we're, a parent or grandparent that's terminally ill, and sometimes we can get into these daydreams about, their eventual passing, and it makes us, maybe upset, or, and we sort of feel like we're worrying about it before it's happened. But it is our own, the way our own consciousness and spirit helps us in the grieving process. We sort of pre-grieve something, an eventuality that may and will happen. So if you find yourself doing that as part of your daydreaming, that's okay too. Allow it to be there because it does have a purpose that it is serving for you. And the other card that did jump out as I was continuing to shuffle here was acceptance. And it says, see yourself and others through the eyes of the angels with unconditional love and acceptance. In this way, you inspire and lift everyone to their highest potential. So, this is a card about, I feel today is non-judgment. See yourself and everyone else through the eyes of the angels and just accept them as they are. You don't have to try and change them. They are who they are. And sometimes we just need to accept that and decide what we need to do for ourselves about it. So this is about, if you find that you're tempted to, really judge yourself or someone else very harshly, instead, maybe try and see them in a healed reality. Or, say a prayer for them, for their healing, or for your own. So it's really about practicing a bit of non-judgment. And, this may have a little bit to do with yesterday's card. In fact, I'm sure it does, probably. It's like the aftermath of it, the time to leave the unhealthy situation. And, the acceptance card is about, accepting the fact that, yeah, it's time to leave it. And, accept what's taken place. Try not to put judgments on it. And, everything needs to change in life. And sometimes when we don't follow our inner nudges to change, something comes along in life, some kind of crisis comes along that forces us to change. And so we just need to accept the fact that change is indeed necessary. And, daydream about new possibilities. So these are some of the messages that I get for us today from these cards. I hope they resonate with you. Thank you so much for being loyal viewers of the channel, and I want to welcome all the new subscribers. And thanks to everybody for, or all those who leave your lovely comments as you feel guided to do. Thanks so much. You can always find these posted on my Facebook page, Angel Divination, as well as other newsletters and upcoming events. So if you want to check that out on Facebook and like the page, I'd love to have you there as well. But thanks, everybody. for joining me, and have a great Thursday. I look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.